something died inside of me. And I lost something very significant that I even didn't realize that we can lose in the modern time. There was a mass attack on Israeli civilians, innocent Israeli civilians, on October 7th, 2023, 6:30 a.m. Israeli time. This was the biggest attack on the Jewish population since the Holocaust. I will spare the graphics and the details just because I really want to protect your soul. But let's say this is the worst that any human being can imagine, and beyond any imagination. My family and friends were traumatized by those events. Those who faced the terror directly, and those who are still facing. I found myself paralyzed to the bed for the whole 3 days, crying my soul out. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't eat anything. I was just thinking about the innocent, kidnapped people, 240 people who were kidnapped brutally into Gaza Strip. I didn't have much time to process the situation. I couldn't get out of my mind the photos and the videos that I saw, the horrible things that happened in Israel. And I got into the defense mode to protect the only democracy in the Middle East, to protect my home. With this attack, I realized that what I lost, I could never imagine that any human being can lose these days. With the rise of anti-Semitism, I realized that I lost a faith in the humanity. I felt completely alone, surrounded by all this hate. I didn't feel like I belong. I do not feel like I belong to the world. And the only crime that I ever committed is for me being Jewish. I remembered my TED Talk about a sense of belonging and what I repeated there over and over again. Self-connection, support system, and acts of service and kindness. And this is exactly what I started doing. Even being in the survival mode, I started practicing my TED Talk that I did earlier this year. With a huge hole in my heart and tears in my eyes, I started practicing my TED Talk, getting out of the survival mode into self-connection. I surrounded myself with people who support me and accept me for who I am. And we started organizing events with the community, car rallies, peaceful demonstrations, Shabbat dinner display, empty Shabbat dinner display, donations, therapy, trauma for Israelis, a lot of support to each other, and a lot of kindness to each other. On one of the displays, I met a policeman who made a huge impact on me. This black guy in a uniform didn't realize that he changed my life forever after a conversation that we had. It was an empty Shabbat dinner display that we organized honoring the hostages that are held in Gaza. Empty plates, long table, and next to this table for kids, 30 kids who are held in Gaza. I was walking around this table with the flowers and photos of the kidnapped people, asking and just showing to other people who were passing by, who had interest to listen to more, to show them, to bring the awareness, to show them what actually is going on, because we really want them back. I was giving flowers to people, me and other people who were volunteering for this event, to place next to the hostage of their choice, next to their empty plate. Within those hostages, we had kids, we had elderly, we have Holocaust survivors, we have men, women, black, white, Jewish, Muslim, Christians. We want each and one of them back home. And this is what we did. We brought awareness to the world through those events. This policeman guy called me, and the first thing that he said to me made me laugh for the first time since October 7. He said, I watch you talk to all those people all day long, and I have a conclusion. You should consider being a speaker. I smiled, with the tears in my eyes still wet of these events that happened. I couldn't resist it, but I was grateful for what he said. The second thing that he told me was, what do I really feel inside of me? He asked me this question, and I really knew, so I was honest. And I said that I feel that I have a little flame inside of me that is struggling. I feel that all the earth, all the world is full of evil and darkness. And my flame, it's barely struggling and cannot keep going. And I'm trying to keep it on. Then he said, look at my website. I opened his website and there it was. Everything about the light and how is it much stronger than any darkness. And then he told me, you know, the darkness and the evil want you to think that that's it. That's it. There is nothing more. You cannot keep going. You cannot keep your light on. But it's happening just because it's a struggle for them. But the light is much stronger than any darkness. I felt tears in my eyes, but this time it was from gratitude to this totally stranger man. His job was to protect us physically. What he didn't realize, that's not only he was protecting me physically, he was protecting also my little flame that was still in struggle. He finished his shift and left. After meeting him, I was able to help so many people to connect to their light. Most importantly, I could connect to mine, and through this to shine brighter and connect others to their light. I was the support that they needed. We've built a network of support to each other, and we practiced kindness and service as much as we can to the world.